Hello everyone, and I'm finally back with a brand new video. And today I have five various minifigures to show off to you. And for this, I have Moon Knight, Princess, Robert Pattinson's Batman, Pope, and Sidney Prescott right here. And yeah, so now enough being said, let's get started with these five minifigures. All right, so starting off with our first minifigure, which is Moon Knight right here. So this guy was pretty interesting to make. Pretty much the reason why I wanted to make him was, well, pretty much I think because I actually like the character. Pretty much, pretty much I read the the original run of Moon Knight, which is the 1980s run, and pretty much thought the character was pretty cool, so I decided to make him. And then later on, I pretty much read pretty much the 2014 run where they introduced Mr. Knight, and yeah, so pretty much yeah, so that's pretty much why I wanted to make him, because he's pretty cool. So yeah. Now moving on to the figure, starting off with the torso, I pretty much just sculpted a little bit of muscle on the torso right here because, well, pretty much in the comics, Moon Knight is pretty much a beefy guy, so I decided to sculpt a little bit of muscle on on the torso right here. So yeah, pretty much painted that in white, and also added a bit of e-tape for his Moon Knight logo right here, pretty much, and also painted some abs right here on the torso, and also painted some wrinkles right here, and also painted some wrinkles on the arms right here, and also added some e-tape for his gauntlets right here, as you can see, and also painted those in white, and also added some black for the lines right here. His belt is pretty much entirely e-tape or electrical tape, and pretty much just cut it up to make the shape of his belt, pretty much. And also painted some boots over here, pretty much some white boots, and also added some wrinkles for the boots right here. His cape is pretty much entirely e-tape or electrical tape, pretty much, and painted that in white. His hood is pretty much a Lego. His pretty much hood piece is from the Lego Archer minifigure from the collectible Lego minifigure series. But all I did was just pretty much painted the entire thing in white, and also his head is pretty much just a black head, and I pretty much just painted his eyes right here, and I pretty much covered the hood, the face, the torso, and the cape. Pretty much covered all that in Mod Podge, pretty much to seal the paint, and yeah, so pretty simple to make, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for Moon Knight, and had a pretty good time making this one, and yeah, so now moving on to our next minifigure. All right, so moving on to our next minifigure, which is Princess herself. Now, this figure, pretty much all I did on her was basically just pretty much all I did on this figure was pretty much just like updated her fur coat, and pretty much just covered her gun, her machine gun, and also her legs in Mod Podge. Oh, and also updated a little bit of her vest. Pretty much if I remove the jacket right here. Now, as you can see, here's a better look of her vest right here. So pretty much as you can see I did a little bit of update to it, as you can see. Um, and yeah, so pretty much it for Princess. That's pretty much it. All the changes I did on Princess overall. Um, Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Princess, pretty much. That's pretty much all I did on the figure. Yeah, so let's move on to our next minifigure. All right, so starting off with our second to last minifigure, which is Robert Pattinson's the Batman, right here. Now, this figure is pretty much a version 2 of my Robert Pattinson's the Batman, because, well, back in in 2020, I actually made a Robert Pattinson's the Batman, back in in that year, when the first few when the first footage for for the movie was shown at DC Fandom. So I decided to make a Batman from from seeing that footage, and that figure overall was well, terrible. Let's just say it was an awful figure. Um, Pretty much like the sculpt on the torso and like the cowl and also like everything on that figure is just terrible. Maybe except for the cape and maybe the Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne head that I made for him. But aside from that, the figure was just awful. So I ended up deciding to make a version 2 of him for the film's release back in like March. So I decided to do a version 2 of him. So yeah. Now here's so pretty much start off with the torso first. I pretty much if we get a closer look right here. So pretty much I ended up sculpting everything on the torso, sculpted like the armor that's like around the chest right here. Pretty much painted like everything on the sculpt right here in darker gray, and also painted like the inside, painted like the torso first in black, and then sculpted the rest of the armor right here, and painted the whole thing in darker gray right here, as you can see, and also sculpted the bat logo right here, as you can see. Then I sculpted the armor on the upper section of the torso, pretty much, as you can see, and also sculpted his like collar for his like pretty much attire, as you can see, which is around the head. Then I sculpted the armor on the shoulders right here, as you can see. Pretty much painted those, painted the first part of the shoulder armor in darker gray, then sculpted on top of it and painted that in black. Same goes for the one on the right, right here. Then I sculpted his gauntlets, right here, and also sculpted like the little blade, like I don't know, painted like the silver bits of the detail that he has on his gauntlets, sculpted those, and then painted them in silver, and also painted some black for like the lines, for the line detail right here, and also sculpted his like um his like blade, like shin guards or something like that. Sculpted those and painted them in silver. Now moving on to the legs right here. So pretty much I sculpted his utility belt right here. Sculpted the three pouches right here, and there's the other one right here. Sculpted his the belt buckles right here, and also sculpted this thing that he has on his belt right here. And also painted his legs in darker gray, and also painted the little details that's on the legs, and also added electrical tape for both the straps on his left leg and also his boots right here, as you can see, and also painted his painted the rest of the boots in a glossy black, and also painted and sculpted his holster for his grappling hook right here, and also his cape is pretty much a piece of electrical tape that I just cut it up to form and make his cape what it looks like in the movie. Now the head is pretty much the Bruce Wayne head from the Lego the Batman 2022 sets, but all I did was just painted the eyes, around the eyes in darker gray, and also sculpted like the sides of the head, pretty much. And also his cowl is pretty much sculpted by me. It's not the best, I would say, like the cow, but I did an okay job with it, even though it's not really entirely the best. But I did a decent job on it overall. And then I painted the rest of it in black, and I covered it up in Mod Podge to keep the paint sealed. And yeah, so that's it for Robert Pattinson's The Batman. Overall, did a pretty good job on this figure. And yeah, so let's move on to our last minifigure. Alright, so moving on to our second to last minifigure of the video, which is Pope right here from The Walking Dead. Now, back in like April, I did say that I'll eventually make him. Well, I finally have made him right here. So yeah, I already made my promise right here. So I finally have made him. So moving on to the figure, pretty much his like vest is pretty much, yeah, his vest is pretty much sculpted by me. Pretty much painted like the pouches, painted like the radio or the walkie-talkie. I mean, and also sculpted like this little pouch thing right here that he has, and also painted and also sculpted like these straps right here. Painted those in like black, I think, and also painted like the little buckles on them in silver, and also painted the zipper in silver right here, as you can see, and also painted like also sculpted the little straps for the vest right here, as you can see, and also painted the belt and the belt buckle right here on the hip piece right here, and also sculpted like these like pouches, these like pouch fiends that he has on his legs right here, as you can see, and also painted the little straps on his boots, and also sculpted the the laces right here, as you can see, and also painted his like painted some fingerless gloves right here on some black hands. You can see the flesh tone right here on his hands right there, as you can see. His pretty much added some e-tape for his rolled up sleeves. Painted his tattoos right here, as you can see right here. And also moving on to the head, which is the last part of the figure, as you can see. This pretty much is probably my favorite part about the figure, is entirely the head. I really did a good job with this one, I'd say. Painted like the stubble on the head, painted like the mustache, painted like the cheekbones, painted the wrinkles underneath the eyes, painted like the glasses, painted the eyebrows. Pretty proud with the head overall, I'd say, pretty much. And also his beanie right here, as you can see, is pretty much a Lego beanie right here, as you can see. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for Pope right here. Overall, I think his character was, in my opinion, I think his character was wasted. In my opinion, I thought he was really good, and they wasted the character a little bit, I think. But yeah, so but enough. But anyway, enough rambling on. Overall, I did a really good job on the figure, and I'm pretty proud of it, honestly. But yeah, so enough being said. Let's move on to our last minifigure. All right, so starting off with our last minifigure of the showcase, which is Sidney Prescott, right here from Scream. Now this figure was pretty simple to make. Pretty much painted her purple shirt, right here, and also painted the shirt wrinkles in purple, in darker purple. And also painted the skin tone, and also her jacket is pretty much electrical tape, but pretty much painted the jacket in a mixed blue, painted like the buttons and also the buttonholes, painted like the pockets, and also painted the collar for the jacket. And also painted her boots on some black legs, and also added some gray outlines for the boots. Also, the head is pretty much entirely painted by me. Pretty much, I'll say I did a really good job replicating Nev Campbell's likeness. And also the hairpiece is pretty much entirely sculpted by me. Not bad, I'd say. But yeah. So yeah. So that's pretty much entirely it for Sydney Prescott. Nothing to say about the figure. That's pretty much all I have to say. Now I do have a couple of other figures that I did some updates to. I want to show off before I end the video. So let's move on to those right now. Alright, so moving on to the other updated figures that I want to show before we end the video. Starting off with first is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Now, this figure is pretty much a version 2 of my Andrew Garfield Spider-Man that I made back in like December of last year. Now, this figure, pretty much all I did was pretty much start off with the torso, pretty much scratched off the old paint from the torso, and pretty much painted him some new webbing, and also painted the blue, darker blue color scheme that he has right here, and also painted his spider logo right here in a gloss black, so you can see it clearly right here. And just to give it a little highlight. That's all, pretty much. And also repainted the webbing on the arms. And also repainted the darker blue on the legs. And also painted the webbing, and also painted the webbing on the the legs for his boots. Right here. And also on the back, I painted the webbing on the back, and also painted the spider logo on the back as well. And also scratched off the old paint on the head. Here's a zoom in of the head, so you can see it clearly. Pretty much scratched off the old paint on the head, and pretty much just and also resculpted the top part of the head, and pretty much just painted the webbing on the head, and also painted the lenses of the eyes, pretty much. And honestly, they look way better now and way more accurate to the suit, pretty much. And it looks way accurate of what the suit looked like in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and also in Spider-Man No Way Home. And yeah, it looks way better than my last version of him. So yeah, that's it for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Now moving on to the other updated figure, which is Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Now, the only thing I did on him was pretty much repainted a little bit of his vest right here on the front, a little bit right here, as you can see, and also updated the back of the vest. Pretty much painted him a new blue wing right here because, well, the other one just didn't look the best, so I decided to update it once again. So here's a better look right here. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for Daryl Dixon. And that's pretty much it for the pretty much the updated figures that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, so let's move on to the outro right now. And alright, so that's pretty much it for the whole showcase, and hope you guys liked it. I apologize that I haven't posted anything since like April, and also haven't posted anything in May. I apologize for that. Well, the reason for that is because I've been, well, very busy with stuff and like with life, and school, and also with figures. But yeah. So I do want to say I do have a load of stuff that I do want to show. Like I have this updated Obi-Wan that I'm working on. Have this worked on. Just needs a little bit of modifications on him, and he'll be finished. I have this updated Rick Grimes that I'm almost going to be finishing. Um, so yeah, there's some sneak peek of those, and also have this Moon Knight torso sculpt that I'm going to be working on. From the Disney Plus series, Moon Knight. So I'm going to be working on that, and yeah. So those are a few other figures I'm be working on. For like those are for like sneak peeks of what I'm working on, and yeah. So I'm probably going to be doing a update video of what I'm going to be doing pretty much for figures. But in the meantime, that'll probably be later on. But yeah, so like, subscribe to the channel to see more minifigures like these, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links to those will be down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.